ChatGPT, TikTok viral mac and cheese, elevated.
That's easy. Tini's got nothing on me. Let's do it.
Hey everyone, I'm Dave, and today we're making Tini's viral mac and cheese, but we're actually stepping it up a level. I can't say like up a notch, because isn't that a Guy Fieri thing? But anyways, we're trying to improve it with the help of AI. Now, to be fair, I have not tried the original, and I need to, but I figure start with the upgraded one, and then if it's great, we can try the other one in a future video. I didn't want to make 2 mac and cheese dishes in one day. It's just too heavy, too much food in my house, and it'll all get wasted. So maybe in a future video, we'll make the original, but today we're making the upgraded one. And obviously, whenever you're making a mac and cheese dish, you need to cook some noodles, so I'm gonna turn on my little stovetop here. I'm outside again. The viral recipe calls for Cavatappi noodles. That's what we got. And it was weird because Walmart had them for like $40, but Publix had them for $2, so certainly shop around. But I set up some water to start boiling. I'll show it to you in a minute, but do the same if you're gonna cook along with me. You need to have the noodles cooked. So we'll start working on that, and while we do that, we're gonna prep a lot of the other ingredients that we're gonna need to put this whole dish together. Now, it may not surprise you, but if you're gonna upgrade mac and cheese and make it like the world's best or most amazing mac and cheese, generally that's gonna start off with way better quality cheese than you normally would use. So instead of just using a packet of orange cheese, which is delicious and deserves some credit, we're gonna use some real fancy cheeses, and I'm a little nervous about some of them. Actually, there's only one I'm officially nervous about, and that's Fontina, because I actually don't know what that tastes like. I should give it the old sniff test. But here's what we have. We have aged white cheddar, Parmesan, let me move my little grater here, Parmesan, Fontina, and Gruyère. Those are our 4 cheeses that are gonna be in this mac and cheese. Is your mouth already watering? Mine kinda is. It may be a medical condition. Okay, Fontina smells a little bit like aggressive for me, but not crazy. It's not like those moldy cheeses I saw in Amsterdam with the actual bugs living in them. That's a real thing over there. So, you know, you might have to hunt for some of these cheeses. Walmart had the Gruyère and Parmesan and cheddar, but I had to go to Publix for the Fontina. I'm gonna get it eventually, guys. So just so you know. Now, in my not last video, but a recent video I used Gruyère, which is what I'm about to shred up. Let me roll the old sleeves up here. I used Gruyère, and I was talking about how expensive it is, because it is expensive. This is an expensive cheese. And I was talking about how expensive it is, and then I threw out the very end, this little end piece, and everyone yelled at me, but I didn't think you were supposed to eat that. It's like rock hard. So what do you want me to do? Everyone was like, Dave, it's expensive. Why are you throwing out the end? It says 8 ounces, and I probably should have looked at the packaging. But I think this whole Gruyère thing was only like 7 ounces, so I might be a little short on Gruyère, unless I really can use the end and I didn't realize. I mean, I guess as long as we keep the blend the same, like the same amount of each, it shouldn't really matter. It just might be a tiny bit less cheesy. It's like 1, I'm just gonna put it in a bowl over here. Okay, so it's basically 2 cups. I think that makes sense. We just do 2 cups of each cheese. So there's our Gruyère. And basically, I'm just gonna repeat the process. You don't need to watch me do it all, but I'm gonna shred all these cheeses, aged cheddar, Fontina, and Gruyère, and Parm, until I have 2 cups of each. Actually, that's a lie. 1 cup of the Parm. 2 cups of everything but the Parm. All right, I'll be right back. All right, so I'm still working away here at this Parm, but let me tell you what I did. I did 2 cups of the Fontina, the Gruyère, and the cheddar all into one bowl together. The Parmesan, the 1 cup, I put that separate because that's actually gonna be used in a different part of the recipe. Well, half of it's gonna be used in this first part. So the Parm kind of goes in a separate bowl, and just set that aside for now. All right, so my cheeses are all done. Look how many cheeses we have. Lots of cheese in here. 6 cups, 7 cups of cheese in that one bowl. Our pasta water is about to start to boil, so we're gonna cook up our pasta. And then right next to that, we're gonna create a roux. So I'll probably just move my cameras over there, and we'll be back in a second. Actually, before we move over there, let's go ahead and measure out our milk and stuff. So you need 1 cup of whole milk. This recipe is not necessarily intended for those who are lactose intolerant. A 12-ounce can of evaporated milk. Is this 12 ounces? Yeah, so this whole can, I'll need to get a can opener for that. And then 1 cup of heavy cream, which I can't get open. There we go. There we go. So we got a cup of milk, a cup of heavy cream, a cup of evaporated milk. Are you guys proud of me for wearing an apron? I always get like 3 to 4 comments, Dave, wear an apron, and I ordered one on Amazon, so very exciting. Kind of just putting all my ingredients over here so that I can kind of resume my work over on that side. I know I needed some butter. Oh, 3 tablespoons of butter. All right, so 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter. To be specific, we're also gonna need that for the sauce. When it comes to creating a sauce, I like to have every ingredient set out next to my pan so that it's like, I don't have to go running and finding stuff, because sauce is like like time-based and you gotta get the roux right, which if it's roux, I need flour too. Let me get flour. Now when we're done with this, it's gonna go in the oven at 375, so preheat your oven in preparation for that. Okay, so now we're over here on my disgustingly filthy stovetop thingy that's all rusted. But you know what? This is real cooking, guys, not no fancy studio cooking. See if I can get it lit up. I got it. I'm gonna put that on like kind of a low heat, not crazy low. Our water's just about to boil, so we're gonna be able to cook our noodles here in just a second. All right, so let's get to cooking sauce. I always get stressed. If you've watched this channel a while, you know I always get stressed when it comes to creating roux or whatever they're called. So we're gonna put our 3 tablespoons unsalted butter in this pan. And this, I mean, is this ready? I feel like I'm about to start cooking the noodles here too. How hot is this? Pretty hot. So get that melting. This does call for 1 pound of the Cavatappi, or whatever it's called. So add those noodles to your boiling water and get those up and running. This says to cook them till al dente, which is 6 to 8 minutes. I'm gonna turn up my heat just a little bit. Get that butter melted. All right, our butter is pretty much melted. We're now gonna add 3 tablespoons of flour. Here's the first 2. And just really whisk that in there. And then I'm trying to add the other one here one-handed. It's not working. That's a half. I don't want it to burn. My heat might be too high. Let me turn down my heat a little bit. And then just whisk this really good. It says to do this for 2 minutes. Well, not necessarily stir it, but to cook it for 2 minutes. So I'm just gonna let this happen and hope I don't burn it. Like I said, I do get nervous about a roux, but hopefully this is working. Stir my noodle mix over here so it doesn't all get stuck together. It's always a little tricky out here for me because, you know, this is like actual flame. So it's not like inside where I just set it to medium and I know the heat is right. Out here, it's like, I don't know. There's not really a medium. It's just like ultra hot to kind of sort of ultra hot. But yeah, we'll see how it goes with the whole, oh, I just burned my arm hair. How did I do that? Oh, there's some flame peeking around here. Let me turn that down a little. Just lighting myself on fire, guys. Don't worry. All right, I'm getting nervous. I feel like this roux is probably at a spot where I should move on to the next step, right? I'm going to. We're gonna add the heavy cream. Slowly but surely add the heavy cream. And hopefully this is working. You know, I always know by the end of the day if it worked, because if it thickens up, it means it worked. We then want to add the normal milk. 1 cup of milk. Actually, I just did that backwards, but I don't think it matters. I did the milk first, then the heavy cream. And then finally, we add our evaporated milk, which I was wise enough to open. There we go. Super milky. Mix that up. And now it says, whisk continuously until the mixture thickens and then reduce the heat to low. So that's basically what we're doing over here. Should I have salted my pasta water? I didn't. Maybe I should have, but I didn't. I'm always kind of bad at telling when something is thickened. All right, so I feel like this is starting to, oops. This is starting to thicken and my pasta's done at the same time. Typical, typical, typical. Let me check, see if the pasta's really looking done. Yeah, it kind of is. Turn off the heat on that. I'm gonna turn down, wait, do I turn down the heat now? Yes, reduce heat to low. So I'm reducing the heat to low and I'm gonna start adding my cheese here. And I'm just gonna let the pasta sit there for a second. This is all that cheese we blended up earlier, the 2 cups, 2 cups, 2 cups, and 1 cup. I'm gonna add those and get them to melt in the cheese. Wow, we're creating a nice thick cheese sauce. It smells really good now. It's overpowered the smell of my burning arm hair. So we're trying to mix that until it's all well melted. It actually said make sure each batch melts completely before adding more. I kind of did, kind of. It doesn't really seem to have mattered. It's all melting. We now want to add a teaspoon of, hold on, let me get my little teaspoon, smoked paprika to this cheese sauce for some flavor. And then a teaspoon of ground mustard as well. And then finally a teaspoon of garlic powder. We want to mix those all in. Ooh, adding some color to it. Honestly, I could just take some chips and dip it in this sauce and that'd be pretty good for me. And then we want to add salt and pepper to taste to the cheese sauce. Salt and pepper to taste. So I'm just going to do like, I don't know. I like the taste of salt, so a decent amount of salt and then some pepper. Decent amount of that too. Mix that in. And boom, we have a beautiful cheese sauce. So I need to strain my noodles. So that's gonna be my next step. Let me get some pot holders, because with this thing, it kind of makes everything, like the whole pan hot. I don't know, what do you think's better? I think I'm gonna add the pasta to this dish. Is that gonna be a mistake? Is it not big enough? Let's try it. Oh, it is big enough, perfect. I'm gonna mix that all in with the cheese. Looks incredible. That is a lot of cheese. I swear, there's more cheese than pasta, but that's not a bad thing. I'm not strictly upset about it. This is gonna be really good. I can already tell. Can already tell. Prepare yourselves for flavor explosions of deliciosity. Yeah, I gotta do some cheesy words to really get you to keep watching, guys. So this is all gonna go into a greased 9x13 pan. Here's my 9x13. It's cast iron because I'm fancy like that. Not fancy like Applebee's, but maybe one day I'll get there and just dump it in. Wait, can you see it? I wanna make sure you can see the cheesy dump. The cheesy dump. That sounds like a bad day in the bathroom. Uh-oh, bathroom talk in the cooking video again. People don't like that. Oh, that looks awesome. Does it look like my cheese is a little bit like, I wanna like evenly disperse it. Probably don't need to. It'll move around as it cooks. It smells so good. My goodness. Goodness gracious. Now, as with most fancy mac and cheese recipes, this one calls for like a little Panko breadcrumb topping. And for that, it just wants us to take a half a cup of breadcrumbs and combine it with 2 tablespoons of butter that's melted. So melted butter, 2 tablespoons. Go ahead and melt some butter, which I already did off camera. You know, bad cooking video. But no one really wants to watch a microwave spin. I don't usually love the breadcrumbs, but I do know it's kind of like, it's kind of required. For any fancy mac and cheese, people like to have a little crunch on it. And then add a little paprika. We're gonna do half a teaspoon of paprika. And I'm using the smoked paprika that we already have. Why buy both? Just buy smoked and use it for everything. And then that's gonna get drizzled on the top of this mac and cheese before we put it into the oven, which like I said earlier, is preheated to 375 degrees. There we go. So just do the little breadcrumb shuffle here. The breadcrumb shuffle all across the top. No one's really gonna complain that much about breadcrumbs, guys. You need some carbs on top of your carbs. Double carb special. You're then gonna add the rest of the Parmesan cheese that you had grated earlier. Remember we only used half of it? I actually don't remember if I told you to only use half of it. I think I did. The other half goes here, right on top of this. I could have spread that better, I guess. Didn't get any over here. I grated a little more. All right, so this is gonna go into the oven for 20 to 30 minutes, I believe. For 25 minutes, and then we're gonna have what should be even better than Tini's viral TikTok mac and cheese. I can't wait. All right, so I've got Tina holding the cell phone to finish out this video. We just finished cooking, luckily we finished cooking our viral mac and cheese recipe, but then I was out here and I just heard a transformer explode. Like, super loud, all the lights went out. I don't think we're gonna have power for quite a while. So I figured let's just finish it up on the cell phone and try it out and see how it came out. Hopefully it's amazing. Very hot. Wow. Let me have a little more.
Are you fond of it? Because it's got Fontina in it.
Nice. Quality. Yeah, it's really good. It's delicious. I still kind of like the other mac and cheese recipe video I did on this channel better. I don't know why, but that one to me was a little better than this one. So this one's great. This one will impress everyone. It's 9 out of 10 in the mac and cheese scale. I just think the other recipe I cooked on here was a 10 out of 10, but this one is still very good. So maybe we'll try the actual viral TikTok one and compare that to the other recipe I made on this channel. I'm curious which one's the best overall, but this is very good. You can definitely try it. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. It's super easy to make. So I guess we're signing off and hoping that I didn't corrupt any of my footage when that explosion just happened. But we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.